Buildings throughout Massachusetts are getting a new generation of meters for electricity and water and sewer flow. The meters are wireless and they have some advantages, but there's also concern about the downside. Our guest is with a group alerting the public about potential problems. It's called Halt Smart Meters Massachusetts, and we'd like to welcome Clare Donegan. Thank you very much for being with us, Clare.
Thank you, Mr. Levitt.
There are so many things that are wireless these days. You know, people with their handheld phones, their internet in the house. So what is it about these meters that's so terrible? Well,
the line of demarcation between choosing wireless and having it imposed on you is a major line, and there's a subset of people who are severely adversely affected by the pulsed microwave radiation of wireless technology. And they can choose or not to choose, or choose not to have wireless, a phone, Wi-Fi, baby monitors, cordless phones, for your landline. And this makes that choice not theirs. It makes it imposed on them by a commission, by the DPU and by the EPA. And that's just not right. If it adversely affects your health, you should be able to choose not to have it.
No, we have heard sometimes about the adverse effects of using a cell phone if you have it up close to your head and you do it quite a lot. These meters, they probably wouldn't be that close to your body, but explain what's going on here that make these still a problem?
So what happens is these meters pulse microwave radiation, and they're powerful pulses, but they're only over a microsecond over time. So what the utilities are saying is that it only pulses, say, if you add up those microseconds, it only pulses, X number of minutes per day. But that's like saying a strobe light is only the wattage of a 4-watt bulb, because you can't average that serious pulse over time. That's not how your body perceives it. And it's the pulse that's very dangerous. Your body can't defend itself against a pulse. It can defend itself against a constant, but it cannot defend itself against a pulse.
Of course, another thing that some viewers might be familiar with is that if there's somebody in the house wearing a pacemaker, you tell them, don't go near the microwave.
Right.
How does this compare with going near the microwave? When it's on, of course.
Right. It is microwaves, and it's the microwave section of the electromagnetic spectrum. So, and I'm not a scientist, but my understanding is the microwave is a constant emission of microwaves, and you have the door with the screen on it, and but these meters and then all your other wireless devices are this pulse, and you don't have the screen with the door in front of it. And the FCC's safety standard is based on when the microwave physically heats up your skin. It doesn't have to do anything with all the other biological effects that are proven of lower level microwaves. So
another concern we've seen is about how this device might interact with some other things in the house. If you have wireless internet access, there might be some additional concerns then? Maybe about people hacking
computers? Well, it's a
computer?
cumulative thing. So if you have your cordless phone, you have your monitor, you have your Wi-Fi, you have a Wi-Fi booster, and you have, so it's cumulative. So, and what people especially people with underlying health issues, want to do is monitor what level they're subjecting themselves to all the time. And what happens is a lot of the symptoms are kind of ambiguous. It's ringing in your ears, it's joint pain. It's not like you bleed from your eyebrow if it happens. And what we suggest is take your wireless things and unplug them and see what happens to your health in a month. Give it a month and see. And with your baby monitor, move your baby monitor away from your baby, and don't have a cordless phone next to your head when you're sleeping. You know, your sleeping area is the most important area, and you don't want one of these meters on the other side of your bedroom wall.
Well, what about what your organization would like to see done, at least about, if not stopping this altogether, then maybe giving people more of an option? What do you see?
Our goal is to put on the brakes. 16, right now, as of today, as far as I understand, 16 states are fully deployed with these meters. And most of the other states' groups, there's 32 other states that have groups like us that are fighting them, they started too late to stop it. And so what they're doing is begging their DPUs for the paper line opt-out. And if you are in an apartment building and your apartment is where the bank of smart meters are, you opting out doesn't matter a whit. And so what we want to do, the pilot program is happening in Worcester right now. We'd like to stop that pilot program and say, let's put on the brakes. Let's figure out what the safety standards ought to be for Massachusetts. We're one of the smartest nations in the states in the union, I think. And to rush into this it's big money involved, and to rush into it just does not make sense.
We have a little time, but we should mention there's a meeting coming up this week in Dorchester.
In Dorchester tomorrow night, Wednesday night at 6:30 at the Lower Mills branch. And just from this discussion, there's a learning curve before you can even figure out what it is that you're against. And so we're trying to battle that through education.
It's the branch library on Richmond Street. And you've got a website as well that people can check out?
Right, it's Halt, MASmartmeters.org.
Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you.
Clare Donegan will have more news in just a moment.